Rumors had been spreading for weeks in Tuskegee, Alabama, about a new federal program promising free medical care and burial insurance for local men. It sounded like salvation in a county where sharecropping, poverty, and segregation made even simple illnesses a crisis. What few realized in 1932 was that the United States Public Health Service, in concert with Tuskegee Institute, was beginning one of the most notorious conspiracies in American public health history. The project was framed as an observational study of untreated syphilis, billed as research that might help black communities in the long run. Men were recruited with promises of free exams, meals, and the kind of medical attention they rarely received. They were told they had bad blood, a folk term that covered everything from anemia to syphilis. In truth, 399 men with syphilis and 201 uninfected controls were enrolled to let the disease run its course so doctors could document its natural progression. Local nurse Eunice Rivers-Laurie became the human face of the experiment. For decades, she built trust, brought men in for exams, and kept records. But the intimacy of that relationship masked a darker reality. The so-called treatments were placebos, like aspirin and iron tonics. Participants endured painful and unnecessary spinal taps and were led to believe those procedures were therapeutic. Consent, as the term is understood today, was absent. Men signed up without fully understanding that they would be denied curative care. The conspiracy hardened after a medical miracle arrived. Penicillin emerged during World War II, and by 1947 it was accepted as a safe and effective cure for syphilis. Yet the Public Health Service chose not to treat the study subjects. Internal discussions weighed scientific value against basic compassion, and scientific priorities won. Treating the men would, officials argued, spoil the data. So penicillin was withheld, even as it was administered widely to white patients and soldiers returning from the war. The layers of deception were systemic. Federal agencies rationalized the decision. Local institutions accepted it, whether out of trust in the government, fear, or complicity. The men who thought they were receiving care were monitored, manipulated, and effectively used as guinea pigs. The conspiracy was not a single secret meeting, but a long-running collaboration among physicians, bureaucrats, and local intermediaries that depended on silence, euphemisms, and the social isolation of black Alabamians. By 1950, the study had already spanned nearly 2 decades. Men were dying from late-stage syphilis. Families were affected, and yet the formal record treated the work as science. The ethical collapse was rooted in racism, paternalism, and a warped belief that knowledge justified harm. The Public Health Service defended the program as research necessary for the nation, but the consequences were catastrophic. Hundreds of men were infected, many died, spouses and children were exposed. This is a story of ordinary men drawn into a long experiment they neither understood nor consented to, and of institutions that placed statistical outcomes above human lives. It is also a cautionary tale about how power, secrecy, and prejudice can create a conspiracy of silence that endures beyond the immediate crimes. What began as rumors in Tuskegee became a national scandal that would not be fully reckoned with for decades, but the moral injury was instantaneous and profound for those who trusted the doctors and were betrayed. When historians look back at the mid-century era, the Tuskegee study stands as a stark example of how government authority can be twisted into a cover for abuse. It reminds us that transparency, consent, and respect are not optional in medicine, and that the legacy of this conspiracy has shaped public health, legal oversight, and trust in institutions for generations.